Welcome to Community Spotlight, a podcast on the EBPL Podcast Network. I am your host, Melissa Hozik. The library is known as the community's living room, and we like to interview individuals from local organizations to share what they are going to do to make East Brunswick a better place. Today, I'm joined by Maria Katrina Eng, President, and Dave Chan, Vice President and Chair of the Advocacy Committee of AAPI of East Brunswick. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Can you tell us about how AAPI of East Brunswick was funded?
Asian American Pacific Islander, AAPI of East Brunswick. Just started as a conversation that I had with Kimberly Canetta, one of our board members. We're both from here. We grew up here. I moved back in 2020. And we recognize the need for a platform for AAPI visibility, a place to really celebrate cultural identity. The idea grew. And so through social connections through East Brunswick High School, we, grew our board. And then serendipitously at last year's East Brunswick Arts Coalition Masquerade Ball, my husband and I wanted to eat our hors d'oeuvres at a table. And we met a group of East Brunswick residents, Dave included, and really hit it off and really had a great time and made that connection. And talked about AAPI of East Brunswick. So it kind of grew organically, which is really quite cool.
Yeah. As Maria said, we grew organically. We're local residents. A little bit about me and a little bit about us is that, we're residents, we're parents, we're volunteers. For myself, I'm a coach too. So I coach soccer and basketball, part of the Fast Break board. And I tell you this so that you know what I'm about, what we're about, right? So you can connect with us and our intentions, and you've seen our action in the community, right? So I build community via the sports leagues. I'm coaching out there. I'm being a representative of AAPI, right? And so I want you to know of us as part of the community, building this community. And that's just me. I'm one of 6 on this board, and you can come check us out.
So what kind of specific goals are you starting out with AAPI of East Brunswick?
Yeah, I'll cite our core pillars. There's cultural awareness, education, mental wellness, activism, and inclusivity. And the pillars that speak most to me that I'm passionate about is highlighting our champions, right? That's inclusivity. That's building that awareness, be it our local AAPI artists like Kyle, a young high school student who drew our logo, and our creative director, Brian, who happens to be Maria's husband, who's also an EB product, born and raised, who came up with our other lovely logos like I'm rocking right now. If you don't mind, I have this. It's our AAPI East Brunswick stamp, which I really love because it's quintessentially Asian American, which I feel is what we're about. A little bit of history of that. The stamp is something that's very prominent in East Asian cultures, and traditionally it's something that's stamped in those Asian languages like the Korean, Chinese, Japanese, but this one is not. It's actually in English. And if you could figure out what it actually says, I'll give you a big hint. It has something to do with our organization name. So there's that. And also for me, empowerment, right? That's something huge. Voting awareness, empowerment, getting more folks registered to vote is one of our big goals. I feel like if we have more of our community engaged in the voting process, we'll be able to vote in more legislation that protects our interests, right? And also maybe even elect more of the AAPI community officials. If we think about in sports world, that's how my brain works as a sports guy. That's kind of the offensive side, right? That's how we eradicate the ignorance, which left unchecked foments into hate, right? With the anti-Asian hate. And how do we play defense? We also have great events such as the self-defense clinic. We're attacking it from different angles. And that's what speaks to me. And I'm sure Maria has pillars that she would love to touch on.
Yeah, I think we're really an emerging organization, and to have that engaged community would be so important. Dave touched on that we're parents. So I'm a mom of 3 young daughters, and I just really want her to see that there are strong Asian API leaders that are here to really empower them and support them, and that there are non-AAPI leaders that support our mission and really want them to build their skills or to learn new skills or to kind of master anything that they're really interested in. So really just a platform for our youth to see that they are supported. And we're so lucky here to be in East Brunswick and have that diverse community. So I think this is really the time to do that.
What I think also from looking outside in that makes this organization so unique is that it represents East Asian and South Asian communities, because there are lots of cultural organizations that exist in East Brunswick that are monocultural and they don't always interact. How did you make sure that this was truly inclusive of East Asian and South Asian communities?
Yeah, as you said, that's what makes us unique here, right? I want to highlight that in EB, we have a very large AAPI population. This is actually one of our trivia questions and answers. It's almost 30%. So that's huge, right? And that is the goal and the challenge, right? How to coalesce those different groups. And how we do that is find common cause. Obviously, we're all EB residents, and we get people of different backgrounds on the board and in these volunteer positions. So we're growing that and we're reaching out to our network. And so we're the first AAPI group in central New Jersey. We have the distinction of being a 501c3. We're also recognized by different sort of vetting organizations such as Advocacy, which allows us to get company donor matching, which is huge, as we're a volunteer org and every dollar counts and we'll stretch those. So yeah, that's us in a nutshell. Maria, if you want to jump on this, please feel free.
Yeah, I think you both hit it really well. It's really about that Pan-Asian inclusivity and really just kind of building that solidarity. So as Dave said, we have a very diverse board, but we're also very open-minded. So like we want to include as many cultures as we can in this API diaspora. And so we're just very open to having those events and really making sure that we can highlight that. So even last year at the Harvest Fest, it was really cool. We made origami diyas. And so it was kind of lighting the way for the Festival of Lights for Diwali. But it was cool in that it was a fusion where it was origami from Japan and then using that diya for the South Asian cultures. So I thought that was quite neat.
So you've talked about Harvest Fest and some of the things that you've done last year. What type of events are you thinking to have for here in 2024?
May for AAPI Heritage Month, we are partnering with the East Brunswick Public Library for a documentary screening, really looking at our history and celebrating our achievements, but we also have to look into our struggles as well. And then for June, I'm so excited to announce the first Kenara API Music and Food Festival, really just celebrating upcoming Asian artists, local vendors, businesses, and the food. We really love food. I think that's like a big popular topic and just something that's quite fun and a way to bring people together. So that will be on June 8th at the East Brunswick Community Arts Center. And then, annually we help to support the Lunar New Year, which is really a great event as well. And, we are also putting out some self-defense clinics. So we'll see how those go.
Where can people learn more about AAPI of East Brunswick? Website, social, any other places that you can really easily be found?
Yeah. As mentioned, we'll be at the events, so come out and support. We have a really nice website, an IG handle, and even Facebook that our great social media team puts together. So where you can find us is aapiofeb.org. That's our website, and all the socials, the Instagram, the Facebook is the same thing, AAPI of EB. And you can like us and subscribe to get the latest info. I will say that IG, Instagram will have the most latest info. So definitely check that out. We also have a newsletter that you can sign up with at our website. And lastly, as a more of a plug, at our website, we have a donation link. So please, we are volunteer org and we would love your support. And we have amazing merch too to help fundraise.
Thank you both for joining me today. And it's so exciting to see a younger generation of people trying to band together and make positive change in the community when all these resources are already there, but making those connections. So thank you for joining me today and have a great afternoon.
Thank you.